See, IRF stands for Safe Roads and Safe Mobility. That is the main theme on which we work. In 2010, I was elected as the first non-European chairman of International Road Federation. And IRF has been working relentlessly on safe road and safe mobility. But unfortunately, we couldn't reduce the accidents nor the fatalities. In fact, the accident grew. And I realized that we have erred in not working on all the 5 E's together. If we work on all the 5 E's together, we are bound to bring in road safety.
Hi everyone, we have yet another episode of Metro Mobility Stories today, and our guest of honor today is Mr. Kapila, K. Kapila, who is the founder and chairman of ICT and the president emeritus of IRF. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
I would like to bring on to the viewers that Mr. Kapila was the first non-European chairman of IRF, and last few years he has focused himself from ICT into IRF and into road safety. Sir, tell us about your journey in the IRF, how you became the first non-European chairman of the IRF.
I joined IRF in 2008 as vice chairman of International Road Federation. I worked closely with the team that we had. We have a membership of 146 countries, and IRF has been working relentlessly on safe road and safe mobility. In 2010, I was elected as the first non-European chairman of International Road Federation, and I served that position for 3 terms, which were the maximum. So until 2019, I was the chairman of International Road Federation. Thereafter, the board didn't allow me to leave and they made me president emeritus. Currently, I am president emeritus of International Road Federation.
So, sir, what is the main agenda of the IRF with regard to road safety?
You see, IRF stands for Safe Roads and Safe Mobility. That is the main theme on which we work. And for the first time, the world realized in 2010 that there is a need to do something about this particular aspect of road safety. So 100 transport ministers of the world gathered together in Moscow.
Okay.
I was one of the non-ministers in that ministerial
So who had organized that meeting, sir?
Government of Russia.
Okay.
Moscow took the lead and organized that meeting. For 4 hours, I kept listening to various leaders talking about that this is a very serious issue. We must do something about it. And then I took the floor and said, gentlemen, I fully appreciate what you have been saying for all these hours, but we need to make an action plan. We just can't keep talking that there is a problem. We all realize there is a problem. But we now need to have an action plan. And then came the decade of action plan, under which the ministers resolved that will reduce road accidents and fatalities in the world by 50% by 2020.
Okay. And what was the outcome?
But unfortunately, we couldn't reduce the accidents nor the fatalities. In fact, the accident grew. And I was mulling within myself as to where the hell have we gone wrong? Because there was so much of effort from various quarters, and yet the results haven't come. And I realized that we have erred in not working on all the 5 E's together.
What are the 5 E's, sir?
The first E is the engineering of roads. Second E is engineering of vehicles and policy corrections. The third E is education and mass awareness. The fourth E is enforcement. And fifth E is emergency care. If we work on all the 5 E's together, we are bound to bring in road safety.
Wow.
This is not only a statement. We have actually done a validation of this also.
How was the validation done?
We chose 7 worst affected states as far as road safety is concerned. These are UP, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. And in all these states, what I did was, I requested Gadkari ji to write to the chief ministers of these states to give us a road section which was their worst road section in terms of road safety record. And then we worked on all the 5 E's on those roads. And brought out what correction needs to be done on the roads in those states.
So you also worked on the engineering of vehicles for those roads?
Yes. Let me explain first the engineering of road parts. Whatever corrections were needed on those roads, we brought it out to the states. Most of them, the roads were belonging to NHAI. So they took up the correction work. And as far as the engineering of vehicles is concerned, you see what happens is that we pass certain laws and rules under the Central Motor Vehicle Rules, CMVR.
Yes.
Now what we pass there is for the vehicles which will come out thereafter.
Okay.
But there is a dire need to cover the existing vehicles as well,
Yes.
which are in very large number. For instance, the front underrun cover, the side underrun cover, the rear underrun cover.
Okay.
You see, these vehicles, trucks and buses, they have a very high body. So if you don't have the underrun protection,
Yes.
even if an armored car goes under the truck,
Yes.
the person is bound to die.
Really?
Yes. So that is why it is necessary to have these underrun protections.
So what exactly is the underrun protection? Can you illustrate that?
Yeah, it's a rod which is fitted at a distance from the bottom so that these vehicles do not go inside the bigger vehicle.
Oh, really?
So those are provided all the front and the rear and on the side. So these are called front underrun
So
protection.
this is part of the engineering of vehicles.
This is part of the engineering of vehicles.
Okay.
So we have requested the states to get this done in all the existing vehicles
Okay.
which pass through their state.
Okay.
And those who comply within 30 days, it's fine. If somebody doesn't, you impound his vehicle and provide it yourself and charge them impounding charges plus double the cost of the fitting. So that way we'll be able to have the entire country with these fitted
Okay.
in a short time.
Okay.
That's something which is part of the engineering of vehicles.
Okay.
Then
Is ADAS also part of the engineering of vehicles?
ADAS is also a part of the engineering of vehicles.
Okay.
And we are working on having ADAS in all vehicles.
Okay. Wow. So the next E?
The next E is education and mass awareness.
Yes.
So in education, we have two things which we are doing. One is we are training the teachers and the students in all schools abutting the roads. That's what we did under the 5E program. Within 2 kilometers on either side of the road, whichever schools were there, we went to each of those schools
Yes.
and trained both the teachers and the students. And also, we had prepared a road safety anthem,
Okay.
which was played in all schools.
Okay.
And this anthem has been produced in 23 Indian languages and 10 foreign languages.
Wow.
That covers the entire world. And the maximum use of that is being made by the Chinese.
Really?
What they have done is factories and establishments,
Yeah.
every shift when it comes, this is played. So before every shift starts its works,
Yeah.
they have to hear this for a minute.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And the next E is enforcement.
Yes.
So under enforcement, we are proposing that ATMS be provided on the roads
Yes.
and also vehicle-to-vehicle communication
Okay.
and vehicle-to-infrastructure communication as well.
Okay.
Provide all these which are envisaged.
Yes.
There's bound to be substantial reduction in accidents.
Wow. And the last E, the emergency.
Emergency care is the last one,
Yeah.
under which we have been training people living on either side of the roads. And also, we have undertaken study of the medical facilities available within 5 kilometers on either side of the road.
Okay.
And we have done a gap analysis of what needs to be there
Yes.
and what is actually there.
Uh-huh.
And that gap analysis we have shared with the health department of each state
Okay.
to catch up with the gap.
Okay. Okay.
We have also come out with a motorcycle ambulance.
Wow.
This has been prepared with the help of DRDO. It is like an ICU on wheels.
ICU on wheels.
Yeah. And in this, a person goes entirely lying down position.
Really?
Yeah. And he has all the things connected. ECG is being constantly taken.
Uh-huh.
If required, his fed oxygen available inside. If he requires any medication,
All on the motorcycle.
all in the attachment of the motorcycle. And the motorcycle is being driven by a paramedic. And this is connected to the hospital where he is being taken.
Okay.
So the medical specialist knows exactly what is happening.
Uh-huh.
And by the time this person reaches there, they are fully prepared to receive him and address.
So, sir, Mr. Gadkari has also been doing great things. So, what are the top 3 or 4 things he has done already that you would like to congratulate him on?
You see, he has done a masterpiece job by telling the engineers not to cut corners with the roads
Okay.
and provide adequate road safety measures on all roads.
Okay.
And then there is a audit at 3 stages: road safety audit during design, road safety audit during construction.
Sir, as a concluding message, would you like to say anything to the road industry fraternity as a message from your side?
Let's
Wow.
collectively work to have better appreciation of roads, better environment be created, better understanding be generated, and more sensitivity towards road users is necessary for everyone. You see, unless we respect the right on the road of everybody else who is driving and are careful, that there's a difficulty in getting the results that we are aiming to get.
Thank you, sir. The passion of this gentleman is really phenomenal, and it was really an honor and a pleasure for me to have this conversation with him and learn so much. I hope you all enjoy watching this as much as I have enjoyed creating this. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.